Hey, some friends, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I'm Symptomistic, like optimistic, but make it Sims, and I am very excited to bring to you something a little bit different. So we are in Create a Sim today, which y'all know I love. Well, if you know me, y'all know I love Create a Sim, and if you don't know me, I have a whole playlist of Create a Sim videos in the description below. But we are focused today on Insecure, and I'm guessing if you clicked on this video, you are familiar with the show Insecure by Issa Rae and all their antics that have been going on for 5 seasons. And since the show is coming to a close, I was inspired to make some Sims of the show, and I looked it up. I didn't really see that many Sims. I feel like a lot of the videos I saw were much older, so I figured why not take a crack at it and see what I can do here. As you may be able to see, this is Lawrence, and let me know in the comments if you are Lawrence Hive, Team Lawrence, or anything like that. Let's kind of start with the good side of Lawrence. Lawrence is kind of started from the bottom. Well, I guess not started from the bottom, but where we start off in the show, Lawrence is struggling, and Lawrence has made himself pretty successful in his career. And so his outfits are kind of like bougie brunch outfits. Like I'm not really a fan of Lawrence's style. It's nice, but it's a little too preppy, a little too clean cut for me. Very like corporate, but I don't know how to not be corporate on my off day, so I'm just gonna throw on some jeans. That's kind of the vibe that I'm giving with his outfit. So that's the positive side of Lawrence. Now, Lawrence's love life, however, is a hot mess. And it's funny because I consider myself like Lawrence Hive, but actually doing this process, creating the sim and like giving him the attributes or the traits, whatever, and it made me kind of be like, oh, Lawrence is kind of an F-boy. I made Lawrence a serial romantic because I feel like Lawrence is jumping from one relationship to the next, just trying to figure it all out. I don't think it's a goal of his. I just think he's just trying to figure it out. I also made him kind of gloomy because I feel like that was part of the issue with Lawrence, that he was kind of depressed at a point, and I feel like he still gets pretty upset about things. I also made him self-absorbed because if you're paying attention to this whole Condola thing, everything is about Lawrence at this point. And of course, Lawrence is ambitious because he seems to only be consistent with his career. Everything else, he goes back and forth about things, but he knows what he wants in his career. But now we have already moved on to the next character of this show, which first of all, don't slay me for these complexions because I struggled with making the complexions of these characters, these actors, because I'm looking at pictures and they're in different lighting. And also, so for this character, this is Molly, and I wanted to make Molly like a cool tone because I feel like in like the most pure lighting images I saw of her, she was a cool tone. But I didn't really have the right cool tones in my game, so I had to go a little more neutral. It was just looking a mess, and I didn't want to make Molly Ashley because Yvonne Orji does not deserve that. I did really enjoy making Lawrence, Molly, and Issa's faces. It made me really appreciate the show's diversity and just showing people on TV who may not look like everybody else on TV. I really enjoyed that. So to get into Molly, Molly is also someone who has grown a lot this season. I actually wanted to highlight my favorite part of Molly's personality in this through her clothing. So one of my favorite things about Molly is that she is kind of a boss babe. Like, I feel like she's on top of things. Well, not her love life, because that's kind of the point of the show, that everyone's love life is a mess. But as far as like her lifestyle, like she always looks fly. Her job, she's just like focused and zeroed in on the things she wants. And I wanted her clothing to reflect that. And also, the female characters on this show go through different hairstyles, and so we kind of have a lot of options to play with, but I picked my personal favorite hairstyle that I've seen on Molly. So hint, it is not the current one where she has like the short Caesar. Like listen, I don't know the name. Teeny weeny afro, is that what it is? I don't know the name of short haircuts, but I really loved Molly's bob. Like I just felt like that captured a part of her that was very important to the storyline. So I wanted to focus in on that hairstyle, and you'll see I go through a couple of bobs, lobs, different hairstyles. I didn't find exactly the one I was looking for because like I couldn't get something that wasn't like this hair is like a little too alpha, but I couldn't get the one that like had the perfect side swoop with a little bit of curl because that's a lot of detail. But I felt like this bob was close enough for us to like move on to her clothing. I think I enjoyed creating Molly the most, even though she's not my favorite character, but I just like being able to kind of take parts of these characters. I really enjoyed the Fresh Prince cast that I did previously with Hillary and Ashley, which I can also link below, but I enjoyed that. It seemed like you all enjoyed that as well. So anytime I can think of something that like I care enough about to recreate, I'm definitely not the expert on creating these celebrities or creating characters from TV shows, but you know, when I'm inspired, I figure I do something a little different. If you are not an OG Sim friend, you may not know that I mostly do LPs, but you know, my cast is usually geared towards those LPs. So this is just something a little different. And so to talk about Molly's outfit, what does every boss chick need? A power suit. And I thought this was perfect. I actually saw an image on Google where she's kind of wearing a very similar color, and I just felt like that looked amazing on her. So there was nothing better than this power suit, and it looks like it's like Chanel inspired, so I feel like that fits her. I also noticed like with Molly the makeup that I never really paid attention to, but she always has like really thick eyeliner, and so I wanted to make sure she had that and just like cute subtle eyeshadow, just like makeup that is clearly done but also not doing a lot. For Molly's traits, I gave her serial romantic, which I think I gave to all three of these characters because that's the show. I also gave her high maintenance because Molly is used to a certain lifestyle and she's very comfortable in her lifestyle. I gave her ambitious because I think the romance and the ambition, I don't know why that word sounds weird, but ambition is just like the theme of the overall show. So I gave that to her as well. And I gave her neat as a trait because her house always looks immaculate. And I actually gave her an aspiration because I feel like Molly is on the journey to inner peace. And I hope she finds it. Most likely she won't find it by the end of the season, but we can imagine that she will find it at some point in her life. Last but not least, we have your favorite rapper's favorite rapper. Just kidding. We have Issa. I struggled the most making Issa's style, not necessarily like making her face and her shape or anything like that, but making her style because I feel like her style is the most different from mine. I feel like it's laid back, but it's kind of eclectic and a little quirky. And I just really struggled finding things to go with that. But I was really happy with how it turned out. We are on the last sim for this video. But if you guys really love this episode or this series, I actually wouldn't mind making Kelly, what's the other girl's name? The girl that Amanda Seals plays, whatever her name is. And I don't know who the third person would be. Maybe it would be that girl's husband. I don't know, but I would be comfortable making additional characters from this show because I do feel like they all kind of have their distinct own style, and I feel like we've watched them long enough to get their personalities. So let me know in the comments if you would like me to make those. Also, let me know who's your favorite from the show, who's your favorite from this video, who do you relate to most, whose style do you like best, all that fun stuff. And so back to Issa with her hair again, like Molly, it changed throughout the season. And I didn't necessarily pick my favorite hairstyle, but I kind of picked what I could find because it was difficult to find hairstyles that she actually wore on the show. But Ebonic Sims always, holds the Black community down, the Black Sims community. Thanks to her, I was able to find this braided crown for Issa, which Issa has actually worn in the show. So I felt like, yeah, this might have been the most accurate hairstyle, maybe. I guess maybe tied with Lawrence, but this seemed more accurate. I feel like Lawrence, I had some complaints about his hairstyle too. And Issa often wears very colorful tops or bottoms with patterns, or I actually decided to go with graphic tees because there is a significant amount of time that she wore graphic tees on the show. I know she's a little more corporate now, so maybe not as many graphic tees, but I felt like this was like the core of Issa on like a chill day. And unfortunately, I actually don't have that many graphic tees in the game. How many times can I say graphic tees? Because it's not super reflective of my personal style. But I really like that this graphic shirt was like partially tucked in, partially tucked out. I thought it gave like a relaxed but styled look. Like this was not a complete accident. And so I tried to find some pattern pants, but everything kind of looked, I think with the loose fitting shirt, everything kind of looked like pajamas almost. Like it just wasn't working. And I didn't want to give her something too plain. So I ended up giving her a skirt because even though Issa's style is pretty chill, she isn't afraid to show a little skin. And she is a very good like mix of different elements. So I gave her the skirt, which is a little matchy, probably more matchy than Issa normally is, but I couldn't help myself. And then I wanted to give her like a sweater or like a blazer or something like that because I feel like Issa does kind of layer things. So I gave her this cardigan. I hope that's not offensive to LA. I don't really know how warm it gets there. I've never actually been to LA, but you guys can let me know in the comments if, no sweaters in LA. But Lawrence wears sweaters all the time. So unless he's just nuts, I feel like it's fine. Funny story, I went to do Issa's makeup and saw that she doesn't really wear any. And that was kind of odd, I guess, for like a television character, but her face is pretty simple. Like, I think she wears probably some mascara. I'm sure they do the actresses' makeup on set, but like, it's nothing noticeable for me to put on the sim. So I just gave her some lashes and like I think either a lip gloss or just like a simple neutral looking lip. And I was happy to say that I didn't need to put a skin on this sim, and that was nice and simple. I did give Issa some dangly earrings because I've noticed that that was kind of a pattern of this character, and it actually all came together really cute. It made the outfit look a little less casual, and so I really like that, and I can't wait to hear what you all think. That's pretty much it for Issa's look. So then I give her a few quick finishing touches, and I give her her traits, which I really enjoyed making her traits because it was different. I was able to make her a music lover. I was able to make her a goofball, which to me is like the best part of Issa's character, is that she's like so silly. And people are complicated, characters of shows are complicated, so I made her a good person, but I also gave her the unfaithful trait because she was unfaithful to Lawrence. And I guess her and Nate have never been in a relationship, but she's kind of on the road to being obsessed with that as well. So I don't know, but it doesn't make her not a good person in my eyes, and that's what makes this character so great. You clearly enjoyed this because you made it this far in the video, so that means you should subscribe. If I could say the word, you should do that. Look at Issa posing. But you should definitely subscribe because if you can listen to me ramble about these Sims, you can definitely watch an LP where I'm way less rambly. And I just want to thank you all for watching this, and leave comments, share your thoughts, share with your friends that watch Insecure and your friends that play Sims. I'm Symptomistic, like optimistic, but make it Sims. Talk to you soon. Bye.